Warning, the terrifying tales you're about to hear are not for the faint of heart. Each person who dares to share their story has lived to tell the tale, but the horrors they've faced will haunt them forever. What you're about to experience is a journey into the darkest depths of reality, where the lines between truth and terror are blurred. Every word, every scream, every nightmare is based on true events that have left an indelible mark on those who survived. Proceed with caution, but know that once you've entered this realm of unrelenting fear, there's no turning back.
And Hersey's in the middle of Reed City and Everett. If you guys know where that's at, it's up in Michigan. What happened was apparently me and my sister went to sleep, and my mom was reading a book because she loves to read books. And she said that she kept hearing pitter patter up and down the stairs.
Like footsteps?
Yeah, like down someone or something was running up and down the stairs.
Yeah.
And my dad was there as well, and he said that he was going to come scold us because we were up past our bedtime. So my mom was like, well, go tell them to go to sleep. They can't be up this late. So he goes out there and sees that there's nothing going on, goes up to her room, checks on us, and my dad's a pretty tough guy. But my mom said the next thing that she knew was she heard doo, 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 down the stairs, and that was him, because he apparently saw a figure at the end of the hallway after he checked on us in the room.
Damn.
Yeah, and my dad is not really afraid of anything. He's a pretty tough guy, and he's not a believer in...
Not at all?
Nope.
What did he see? Did he say?
Well, my mom said that he saw like a black shadow that just gave off this violent energy.
Gotcha.
Very violent, very, very like malicious and like bad spirit. Like when you feel that energy when you're around somebody, you're like, I don't really like this person. They're kind of acting strange. It kind of gives you that like anxiety.
Yeah.
That's what she said that he told her.
And this was in Michigan, correct?
Yep. This is up in Hersey.
Okay. Wow. And how long did y'all live in that house?
I believe we lived in there up until I was about 5, and then we moved to Gaylord.
You didn't deal with anything there when you moved?
In Gaylord?
Yeah.
No, we didn't. I didn't have any stories from Gaylord.
Yeah, well, the reason why I asked is because sometimes, like, when you move into a house and it does have some haunting, it could also follow you, so whatever you're dealing with. So they say, there's a saying that they say where the house isn't haunted. Sometimes it could be the person that's haunted. Right?
All right, so the road entity is what I summarized it to. So me and my mom were driving down the highway, and we went to the mall because we, mother and son got to do that bonding experience, got a little bit of that shopping.
Yeah.
So we were shopping and totally not even thinking about ghosts or paranormal experiences or entities.
Yeah.
And I was about 14 or 15 around this time, and we were driving back, and I was sitting in the car, and I looked up from my phone because I was on my phone texting my friends, and I swear on everything I know, I saw half of a woman floating above the road. She was all in white, but looked like a person, but just half of her. Right?
Damn.
So I like stood there, and I like looked at my mom, and I was like, "Did you just see that?" She's like, "What?" I said, "It was a person. It was half of a person." And she was like, "No, I didn't see it." So I was like, "Mom, I swear, it was like half of a person just floating above the road. I'm not crazy. I saw it." And when we got home, she clarified that she did see it. She just wanted to remain calm because, like I told you, my mom's a medium. So she feels it. So she didn't want to freak me out and scare me. She just wanted me to kind of collect my thoughts before she told me the truth when we got back.
Gotcha.
And I did see a spirit, and it was half of a woman. So as we were talking about it, my mind started racing, and I was like, well, did somebody pass away on that road? And it turns out that a woman, and this is a pretty sad story, she was driving down the same road. And how this road is set up is there's a bunch of houses, and then there's a man-made lake. And then the other side is a big field, because Allendale is kind of like a big kind of country homestead area. And there's these big metal poles that would stick out of the ground for the street lamps. And she was driving, and I guess she lost control, and she smacked her car, and it in half. So after I heard that, dude, I got goosebumps up and down my body.
Did you happen to go drive back to that road?
Yeah, we did. We actually did a ghost hunt there, and we got a name, and the name matched the person that died.
No way. Okay.
Yeah,
Wow.
I wish I had my phone, because I had a Droid at the time, and I didn't have an iPhone or anything.
Yeah.
But I had a Droid, and I had a recording of it, and it was crystal clear. It was like Rebecca.
Was that her name?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. That's crazy.
Yeah.
And did they ever say like what happened exactly? Did it just was like a bad day? The person got crazy on the road?
I mean, they said that it was like either raining or it had some sleet making the road slippery, and she just lost control.
Oh man, that's sad. You know, and that's crazy because you don't always think about stuff like that when you run into spirits that are still around. Like, I know we can help, so like, you know, mediums can help them cross over.
Right.
But sometimes some spirits just don't want to go, you know? So I wonder if her situation is that she's just playing over the same thing, and maybe she just needs help crossing over, you know?
Right.
But
She wants someone to see her that can see her.
Yeah.
And I don't know if I have a gift that I don't know about yet, but I saw her, and it
Yeah.
definitely made me like, Mom, did you see that? Like, what the heck was that? That was a person, half of a person. Just, it looked like a realistic wax figure, but just half. And then she was wearing white.
You know, so when you seen the white, was it like more of a was it a nightgown or a dress or?
You know, it kind of looked like like a lab coat.
Yes.
It kind of looked like that, but it had like a seam, like a little puffy seam thing.
Oh, like almost like not a wedding dress, but a dress.
Almost, yeah.
Of some sort. Okay.
Some kind of like a blouse or something.
Oh,
Like,
that
you know
would
what I'm saying?
suck if she was going to like a party or some family.
Oh, yeah.
You know, it could have been something in that nature.
Yeah, that would have been.
Oh man, that's sad.
That's really unfortunate to think about. Like, it makes me like.
You know, I'll kind of intervene here and mix it up. The reason, well, because I lived in a funeral home, and I remember there's this little girl who was literally about 11 years old. They didn't want to leave. I mean, bro, we had mediums come in the house, try to help her out. She didn't want to leave. She loves being in that house, regardless of what comes in and comes out. She loved that house.
She just loves to stay there.
Yep. So we just got used to it. And anytime somebody comes over, they'll see her on the side, or they'll hear her call their name. You know. All right. Let's talk about the other experience.
So my camp shadow that I saw when I was in Camp Pinewood in 5th grade. So that was probably one of the scariest experiences I've had. So you guys know, if you guys ever been to like a summer camp, you got, cabins and stuff. Well, I was sitting there and sitting in my bunk bed, and my bunkmate, he was already fast asleep, and I kept hearing a tapping on the window. And 5th grade me was like, oh, it's something scary, so I'm gonna try to not think about it. But it seemed like it kept getting louder. So I swung over, and I was like, hey, do you hear that? And no answer, because he's fast asleep. I was like, okay, whatever. So I built up the courage to jump off, because I had to go to the bathroom anyway. And I went to the window, and I opened up the window, and nothing was there. Not a branch, nothing around that could be tapping on it from the wind, hitting it. And I was like, okay, that's a little weird. So I went to the bathroom, and I went back up in my bunk, and I heard like a scraping noise, kind of like.
Oh, like a sliding.
Yeah, like something was like shuffling or sliding or something.
Oh, was it on the window or in the room?
Honestly, it sounded like it wasn't coming from anywhere. I was hearing it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it wasn't sound like it came from anywhere. It was like I was thinking about it, and I heard it in my brain, but it wasn't coming from anywhere. So I wasn't sleeping, so I kept overthinking, and I was like, well, okay, what's going on? Because our cabin, I was placed in the cabin with a kid that was having anger issues, So, and the cabin that we were in was pushed all the way back, and then there's like maybe 2 or 3 more cabins 200 feet in front of us. So we had like the worst cabin placement. I was getting off of the bus on the next day, and I was walking back to the cabin, and I saw a person just staring at me. I didn't know who they were. I thought maybe they were like a camp official or something, and they just stare at me, and they're just like, as I was walking by. So I waved at them because I was, a little awkward. I was waving at them, didn't wave back, and they turned around and started walking toward the main building. And I was like, guys, what was that? That guy was weird. That person was weird. And they're like, you're just overthinking. You're just overreacting. Whatever. And I was like, okay, whatever. So the second night, I was super terrified because I didn't expect to see anything of that nature at that age. I was sitting on my bed, man, and I heard like a hoo, like someone someone whooping at you to get your attention, like a hoo, and I jumped, and I went and jumped off the bed, and I went like this. I was like, dude, wake up, and he's like, get away from me. I don't want to wake up. We got to wake up early to go on for our kayak lessons or whatever. I was like, bro, there's somebody outside. Like, we got to go get someone's attention. He's like, there's nobody outside. So I opened the door, and right in front of the little porch light was like a dark figure. Just a misty figure, kind of like a silhouette, but it was kind of hewed out a little bit. And it stared right at me, man.
Damn.
It didn't have any eyes, didn't have a face, but I knew it was staring right at me. And I slammed that door, and I was calling my mom. I was texting her. I said, Mom, please come pick me up. I don't know what I just saw. I think I'm losing my mind. I mean, I'm pretty intelligent, so 5th grade, I knew about ghosts and stuff and people losing their mind and dementia.
Yeah.
So I got scared that I had a medical condition where I was seeing stuff because the person I was with, my bunkmate, was not taking it seriously. So I thought I was maybe overreacting, and I was like, this isn't me. This is not how I normally act, or did I actually see a paranormal entity?
I left after that, right?
Yeah, and so that was the last day. It was like a weekend thing. I'm actually pretty excited to show you something, because for the viewers that are watching, I do dabble in cinematography and video recording stuff. I'm trying to build, my image, my brand. So
yeah, you know what, man? If you ever do it again, let me know. I'll go with you.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
I'll go with you.
Did you want to hear it?
Yeah,
it's an EVP.
Is this your next one?
Yeah.
Okay.
This will be my next one since I did forget to write it down. A little recap so you guys, are knowing what to look for. Yeah. So basically, me and my cousin are out in the woods. We're at this burnt down. It's got like a chimney that stayed, but it looked like a burnt down house in the middle of the woods.
And was this in Michigan?
Yes, this was up actually in Hershey where Mom's at right now.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So we did a whole investigation, and so basically what we were asking was, we were saying what's your name, if anybody's out here, tell us why you're here or what's holding you back from crossing over. And I asked, do you want us to leave? And the reason why this is such a peculiar answer.
Oh, you could hear it?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, get it close.
So this is such a peculiar answer is that it didn't respond to my direct question. And I showed 3 of my other friends, and they're like, dude, you added that in there. I'm like, do you think if I added something in there, I would make it answer the question I asked? Because it doesn't answer the question I asked, but you can hear it doesn't sound like male or female. So right after I ask, do you want us to leave? Listen closely, and you're going to hear it say what it's about to say. Do you want us to leave?
Let's do it again. God, what is that saying?
To me, it sounds like it said you won.
It does sound like that.
And you want to know when we recorded this?
Yeah.
4th of July.
Oh, no way.
Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and you're in the military.
Yeah.
No way.
Isn't that weird?
That's nuts.
It sounds like it said you won. And also, guys, this is my video right here. And this is just the part right here. I split it so that I can amplify just that part of the audio.
Wow. That's nuts. So during that time, how long were you out there investigating?
We were out there for about almost 2 hours. And I did cut out some of the longer parts.
Yeah, because investigation, when I tell people about investigations and stuff like that, I'm gonna be honest. It can be boring because sometimes you won't get anything. And I'm surprised that I've never recorded none of my stuff. I only had one recording, and that's where I had plates and stuff get thrown at me. Well, it exploded and all the glass got thrown at me. That was recorded, but I don't have the video. My cousin does it. He lives in Australia, but I've been asking and I haven't got it. But I'm just not sure why I haven't recorded. I'm not the type of guy to record shit.
Right.
When stuff like that's happening, bro, like, and again, you're gonna interview me for a couple stories. I'll tell you those stories. I'll tell you some real crazy stories. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
So,
I can't wait. I got my camera here, guys. So, because I'm gonna run it with on my YouTube channel as well.
So again, guys, if you don't know, so he does videographer, right?
Yep.
And he does videos. If you need promotion, if you need to do videos for your music, for commercial, for anything, hit him up. And how do they find you again, bro?
You can find me at my YouTube handle, Cryptid Campaign or Cryptid Camp. If that's just one way. Or you can go on my Facebook, and it's Gunner Armani, and it's a profile picture of my face going like this.
And so, like, if they want to email you, do you want to just shoot out the email?
Yeah. So it's gonna be, or it's actually just Gunner Armani at yahoo.com.
At yahoo.com.
So it's my full name and then at yahoo.com.
So let's talk about you said you had one more story left, right?
Yep. So I have, actually 2 more stories. I have the one that I was gonna use as a bonus. And
Let's
then
save that one. Yeah.
Say what?
Let's save that one.
Yeah, that one's
that one's gonna be a good one.
pretty good. So the one I was going to talk about was the nightmare one, and this is the one I was saying that it was leading up to me waking up in complete terror, and this is actually recent. So this was like in 2020.
Gotcha.
So I was back from the military. I was on reserve because I had 2 years active, 2 years reserve. So I was on my first year reserve, and in an apartment with my friends, or 2 of my close friends. One of them not so close with anymore. But I was so used to sleeping with red lights on, because on a naval vessel, you sleep with red lights on. That way it keeps your light profile low so you can't be seen on the ocean. So that way you can still see, but people can't see you. You know what I'm saying? Kind of like a camouflage, light camouflage. So I was sleeping with my red light on, and I was on the couch, and I had the AC going. It was nice and cool in there, just how I liked it. AC turned off because the timer ran out. And in my dream, I remember like I was running from something, but every time I went to turn, I couldn't. I was running, but I couldn't turn all the way around to see what was chasing me. But I could hear whispering and other types of just negative feelings, sadness, grief, and it was chasing me. But I couldn't look at it, so I didn't know what was causing that. And it kept getting so loud, in my head, and it was and it went like that, and I shot up, and my heart was racing, man, and I was sweating. I thought maybe something, you kind of mix realities when you're sleeping, and you hear your alarm or something that's low, and it's it's your remixing it in your brain.
Yeah.
So I thought maybe that was it. So I got up and I looked around, and I was well, something fell. And this is the part which is pretty crazy. Was one of my friends is also a follower of Christ and God, and he has a cross. And when I woke up, that's always been up there. I woke up, it
was upside down?
Yeah, it fell upside down. And I didn't notice it right away. I walked around, because we had a kitchen, and it had a little pillar in it, so you could walk around it. And I didn't even catch it the first time, because I wasn't looking for it. I was just looking to see if anything fell and broke on the ground. And I was looking, and I looked on the wall, and I jumped back. I was like, oh, fuck.
Yeah.
That's So that tells me something, you know, because it was
Man.
bolted in, it was screwed in, and it was hung on by a screw. I mean, it could, it could
Yeah.
do this, but for it to flip all the way around, it's not possible without someone taking it off. And
Yeah, that's nuts.
so yeah, that was one of the scary experiences I had. But so the last story I want to tell you about before we just start talking about other stuff. So when I was in the military, the base I was at was in Groton, Connecticut, which is a sub base, and I was doing for Marines. If there's any Marines watching, fire watch, but on ours it's just watch. So, I mean, me and my friends used to call it Bay Watch, but
Yeah. Yeah.
regardless, I was with one of my shipmates, and he was not a believer in ghosts. Like I, freak him out and stuff. And the reason why we were talking about it was because we were told by a captain who was obviously a pretty high rank. He was telling us about, he wasn't telling about ghosts, but he said that to just show that building respect because a couple people committed suicide in there because of the job that they were doing. So we kind of took that with a heavy heart and didn't really talk about, make fun of it. We saw their pictures on the wall and everything. And we started talking about it more and more. And I was like, well, do you believe in ghosts? And he's like, no, I don't believe in any of that. Believe in that shit. It's just it's a made up lie. And I was like, I don't know, bro. Like it could happen. And the time frame that this was occurring was at 1 o'clock because that's when it started. So when we started talking about it, it was around like 1:30, 2 o'clock, which 3 o'clock, you should know.
Yep.
Devil's hour.
Which is so weird. It's always 3 o'clock.
Yeah.
I still, to this day, don't. They say it's devil hours. They say it's because of the energy. So I think we will not know until we die. I mean, to be honest.
All of our questions and everything we ever wanted to know will be answered when we die. That's what I truly believe.
Yes.
And I have faith in. And I can't wait to ask some of the questions that I got, because I got a lot. But
don't make it too soon.
So we were talking about it, and time was progressing, and he started getting a little bit into it. And he's like, well, like, what do they look like? Like, are they supposed to look like any particular thing? And it's like, no, usually they're just, shadows, misty figures, something that can kind of catch your eye, but can't really make it out. He's like, well, I'm trying to think if I ever saw any ghosts, and I just wrote it off as nothing. And I was like, well, maybe you did. You just, like you said, wrote it off. And he's like, no, I don't want to think too much on it. It's kind of giving me the jeebies. I was like, all right, man, well, if it is actually scaring you, just kind of forget about it, because we had to do a rover, which is like walking around the building, make sure everything is still secure, nobody's trying to break in, because there is a lot of assets in there that are confidential that the public can't see, obviously.
Yeah.
And so he did a roving watch, and everything went good, and I did a roving watch, and this is where stuff went down. So so we had our radios, and I was walking around with my radio in my hand because it was starting to rub on my chest, and it's starting to hurt a little bit, or not hurt, but be abrasive. So I just kind of took it off, and I thought I pressed the button, but it was him. So he was trying to contact me, but I guess I was holding the button, but I didn't press it. So I was holding it down, and he was trying to contact me. So he kept pressing it to get my attention, because the building's pretty big, so he can't yell, and plus it's not professional.
Yeah.
Anyways, but he kept pressing it, so I was like, what the heck? So I let go of it. I was like, oh shoot. And he's like, bro, you need to get down here real quick. And I was like, why? What's going on? He's like, I don't think we should talk about any ghosts right now. I was like, why? What's going on? He's like, I'm not even shitting you, bro. I'm not even fucking shitting you. You said you went to the right corridor, right? I said, yeah. He goes, I heard someone talking in the left. I was like, what do you mean? He's like, I just heard like someone talking, like they're just talking to themselves. Like, you heard someone walking down the hallway just like, whistling, but they were talking. And I was like, dude, you're thinking too much on it. You're starting to invite the energies to come and play. He's like, well, I don't want to think about it anymore. Is it true? Is it, is that stuff real? I said, yes, it's real. I don't want to, force you to believe in it, but it is real. Mm-hmm. But I was like, just kind of chill out. We got a job to do. Just kind of calm your mind down, listen, just listen, don't think too much on it, and just kind of chill out.
Yeah, because that happens.
Yeah. And he started, freaking out. So I was on the third floor, and he was on the first floor, and I hear him radio, please come down here. Can we switch? I was like, you rather walk around? He's like, just come down here and I'll tell you what happened. So I walked down there, and I thought he was just messing with me, because this was actually like 253, I think, or 254, because I remember writing it down, because actually something did happen that we had to write down in the log. One of the pictures of the people that passed away fell off, and he had to write it down so that the camera saw that it wasn't him that did it, so that he has to back it up, because he had to go to Captain's Mast for it. And so I like kind of trotted down there, and he looked white as a ghost, told me what happened, and I was like, okay, let's switch, because we have 4 more hours left of Fire Watch, and we can't be acting like kids right now. Because I was completely calm, because I already know about this stuff. I was a little spooked, but I was, remaining calm and focused, because I had a job to do. So he's like, all right. He's like, where's the big flashlight? So I gave him the big flashlight, and he's, going on the right. He's like, is there anything up there that I need to worry about? Did you feel any like spirits up there? And I was like, no, dude, just don't think about it. That's the thing, is you're thinking too much about it. You keep, bringing it up. Don't think about it. He's like, all right. So he's walking down, and he got up to the 3rd floor, came back down, and he was walking back toward me, and the door, I think it was on the 2nd floor, slammed. Because you can open it, and it's like, those heavy doors that'll just automatically close by themselves and just click into place. Mm-hmm. This thing slammed. And he didn't even look back. He ran toward me, and he's like, I need to be relieved. Call somebody else. I need to be relieved. I don't want to be here anymore. And I was, kind of feeling like a dick, because I didn't want to laugh, but I was, just the way he was reacting was a little humorous to me, because I wouldn't react like that. Yeah. But at the same time, I don't know how he was feeling. So I was trying not to laugh, but I was trying to understand how he was feeling.
Did you happen to end up going up there to check out, see what's going on?
Yeah, I did have to go up there and check, and the door just slammed. Like someone pushed it open and then just let it close really hard. So after that, I had to call my CO and let him know that he was having, I had to say it was an episode, and then he had to go get checked out at the dock. So.
Damn.
Yeah. So I was like, never going to talk about scary stories again.
Yes, especially
with anybody.
When you're serving too, because like that's where it comes in with psychological stuff, where they're like, okay, what's he going through? Instead of it being, this is a real ghost encounter, they're like, okay, there's some psychological stuff going on with him.
Right.
Which sucks.
I know, it's like they got, like, I believed him. I knew what was happening 100%. Like, I wasn't, doubting that he, heard the, door slam, because I heard it too. And I didn't doubt anything he was telling me, because I know that this place that we were in was home to multiple spirits that were in the military, and usually military spirits are pretty angry. Damn. Or upset or stressed out.
If you don't mind me asking, like, are we able to talk about how they died?
So later down the road, I did bring that up with my other shipmates, because I told them about it, because they were asking, like, well, what happened? We heard something happen, and we want to know. I was like, well, we just had some paranormal activity happen, and if you ever go in that building, just try to keep your mind focused. Don't think about it, because that's when you invite it in. And we started talking about it, and apparently somebody said that the reason why they committed suicide was because of all the stress that they were being put on them, because they were high-level people, and they had to make certain decisions that were either rash or they didn't agree with, so they didn't want to be a part of it anymore.
How can everybody find you? You have a YouTube, you have a Facebook.
Yep, so my YouTube is Cryptid Camp. It's the profile picture. My YouTube handle is @CryptidCamp, but it's Cryptid Campaign, and my picture is like a red skull, kind of like a ghost face. Mm-hmm. It's kind of like a red ghost face skull, and you'll see that my first video is going to be my cousin hearing, oh, actually, I totally forgot to show you that too. So my cousin actually went out on his own little investigation, and they have cameras outside their house. Mm-hmm. And he also, I think my mom believes that he also has like a gift, kind of like her, like a mediumship gift. And if you guys go watch that, you guys can hear he likes to call it the man in the woods because we're not sure what it is, what kind of entity. Maybe it's like a poltergeist because it likes to mess with him.
God, is it that same woods that you went through the last
Yeah.
time? Oh my God, that was crazy.
Yeah, that woods. We're gonna we want to do another full investigation with more equipment and more cameras, more people, so we have that energy field that they can feed off of. But if you guys watch that, that's one of my other good videos. It's like a growl, like you hear like a
Yeah.
so.
Yeah, we'll check it out. All right, everybody. Thank you for watching the Open Mind podcast. I interviewed Gunner Armani. And again, please share the video. Give me some likes. Throw some comments. I want to have fun with this. Also, if you have a story, if you know somebody that has a story and they want to tell their story, please DM me. Send me a message. I'll take care of you. I'll make it happen. All right, guys. Talk to you later.